guys, Chef Laura here. It's a beautiful summer day today, and you know in the Pacific Northwest our summers are fleeting, so I thought I'd take advantage of it and take us outside on the grill once again. We're going to do a clam bake today, so let's get started with ingredients and then we'll start with putting things together. So you're going to need to make a clarified butter, also known as drawn butter. So you're going to need quite a bit of butter. I'm probably going to use about 1.5 sticks of butter to make my clarified butter. You'll need some fresh shallots. I just did a rough chop. Fresh garlic. I sliced about 5 or 6 big cloves. I really like garlic a lot in this dish. You will need some fresh lemon, and I squeezed the juice from 2 of the lemons as well, because that's going to go into the clarified butter. I'm going to put just 1/4 cup of some white wine just to add a little extra moisture in there for some steam when we're cooking it. And I like bay leaf and thyme. You can skip it or you can add it if you like. And then you will also need some fresh parsley at the end, a pinch of salt and pepper. And then I'm going to do a little tiny bit of cracked chili flake and a little tiny bit of some oregano. That's for your clarified butter. For your ingredients for the clam bake, we're going to do some fresh corn. I went ahead and chopped everything and had it ready to go. Some diced potatoes. I used the red ones that are about medium size. You can also use the little bitty round ones if you want. And so you'll need some potatoes, sausage of some sort. I am using a Portuguese style chorizo sausage, which is a smoked sausage, but you could also use a Polish kielbasa. You could use an andouille sausage if you'd like. And then I am doing some jumbo prawns in there, and then obviously my clams. And then I thought I would add a lobster tail into that as well. So that's about it. Let's get started. Okay, so we're here at the stove. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna boil the diced potatoes. I went ahead and got this started. It's in the pot there. And we're gonna boil those for about 8 minutes so that they're not fully cooked, but they are nice and soft so that they can continue cooking once we pull them out and put them into the clam bake with everything else. And then I've got all of my herbs on the pot making clarified butter. So I did half of my garlic, half of my shallot, my fresh thyme, bay leaf, salt and pepper, and then I did my cracked chili flake and a pinch of oregano that's going in there. I poured my 1/4 cup of white wine, and then I'm gonna add some lemon juice to that in just a moment. But what you wanna do is you wanna keep your stove on really low when you're making clarified butter. That's actually even a little bit high, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because you don't want your fats to separate from your oils and your butter solids to separate from your oil. So you wanna cook that on really, really low just to make a clarified butter, or AKA drawn butter. I'm gonna get my lemon in there really quick. We're gonna stir it, and then we're gonna take that off the stove and put together all the other ingredients for the clam bake. Okay, so I've got my potatoes pulled off the stove. They're par cooked, nice and hot. Again, we boiled those for about 8 minutes. I have my clarified butter with all of my herbs in there. Garlic, thyme, bay leaf, cracked chili flakes, salt, pepper, lemon juice, a smidge of white wine. We're gonna get going. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my potatoes, I'm gonna throw my corn in there, and I'm gonna pour just a little tiny bit of the clarified butter over them just to give them a coat. And that's got nice flavor to it right there. Then we're gonna start getting our ingredients for the clam bake. So I'm gonna take my Portuguese sausage here, and I'm just gonna slice it. And that's gonna go into the bake. Then I have my clams and my jumbo prawns and my lobster tail. Now my lobster tail, I'm gonna cut this in half because I am sharing this. So I'm gonna make 2 pouches. And I have kitchen shears here. It's a little hard, but you can actually just cut through the lobster shell. And the only reason why I'm doing it again is because I'm gonna split this into 2 pouches. You're gonna cut that shell right down the middle. Then I'm gonna take this and just slice it in half. And we got 2 nice pieces of lobster. Those will go right on top. And now we're gonna start to build our pouch. Okay, so I have a nice big sheet of aluminum foil here. because I am doing it outside, I actually doubled it up. So I just got one really big piece and folded it in half. So we're gonna start putting our ingredients in there. So I'm gonna do half of my potatoes. Corn. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that fresh shallot in here. A little bit more of the fresh garlic. You can never have too much garlic in my opinion. Then I'm gonna do half of the clams. Half of the jumbo prawns. My Portuguese sausage. And half of my lobster tail right on top. Then I'm gonna take some of my clarified butter. I was getting a little excited there. I'm gonna take my pouch and try and make like a little boat. So I'm gonna take this end and cinch it just like that. I'm gonna take this end and cinch it just like that. And we'll come back and we'll tighten that up a little bit, but I wanted to make it easy so you can see how I'm gonna put the butter in there. So then I'm just gonna take my drawn butter and I'm gonna pour all of that yummy goodness and seasoning and flavor into the pouch. I'm gonna save a little bit so that once we are done cooking everything and we open it, we can add just a little bit more of that drawn butter to the end. So I'm gonna tighten this up. You don't want this to leak because you want all that steam to stay in there and cook all of your seafood. And you also wanna give it a little bit of room so that some of the steam can build up in there and cook the seafood. That's why it's a pretty big piece of foil. And I'm doing it rather than a square, kind of more of like a boat shape. And then I'm just gonna take my top here and give it a fold. And that pouch looks pretty good. We're gonna take this outside and grill it. All right, so I have my grill going on high at 400 degrees. I just have the 2 burners on the right-hand side. I don't feel like I really need the one on the left, but I've got the 2 burners going, and this has been on high while I was getting everything else ready, so it's nice and hot. So we're just gonna open this up, and all we're gonna do is put our pouches on the grill. We're gonna close this up, 400 degrees for 20 minutes. That's it. All right, guys, the moment of truth. 20 minutes on the grill at 400 degrees. My pouch looks nice and sealed, nothing leaked. So we're good to go. We're gonna just open this up. Oh, and you can see all that steam in there. Whew, that's hot. Everything looks really tasty. I don't know if you can see inside there, but that looks yummy. So I'm just gonna open this up just a smidge. I'm gonna do just a little bit more lemon, just because I like it. Then I'm gonna do my freshly chopped parsley. And then I'm gonna finish it off with just a little tiny bit of that leftover drawn butter that had the garlic, the shallot, cracked chili flake, thyme, salt, pepper, white wine, you name it, it's in there. Beautifully steamed clam, nice and open, so you know it's good to go. The lobster looks amazing. The prawns are fully cooked. This is good. Enjoy. There's our beautiful clam bake, all ready to go, nice and yummy.